Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23. We are hearing how, after the wives have come back, the Brahmanas are lamenting. They're saying actually the devotees are our wives, you know. They have so much devotion for Krishna, whereas here we are doing all the rituals without even understanding what we are doing, who the rituals are for. So they're saying we have neglected the Supreme Lord. Now they have offended him. So now they are lamenting. I'm
Uh,
continuing to read.
Hare Krishna Shilpa ji.
Ah,
Today's class can we please dedicate to my mommy? She had cancer and she passed away on Narsimha Chaturdashi. So,
ah,
so
yeah,
can we
of
dedicate?
course.
Her name is Aradhana.
Aradhana.
Aradhana, yeah, Aradhana Mittal.
Yeah, of course. Let's dedicate today's reading for Neha's mommy, Aradhana Mittal. Hope Lord Krishna blesses her, keeps her close to his lotus feet. Okay. Aho pashyata nari nam
अहो पश्यत नारीणाम्
api Krishne jagat guru
अपि कृष्णे जगद्गुरो
duranta bhavam yo vidyan
दुरन्तभावं यो विद्यान्
mrityu pashan grahabhidan.
मृत्युपाशान्गृहा आबिदान्.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Just see the unlimited love these women have developed for Lord Krishna, the spiritual master of the entire universe. This love has broken for them the very bonds of death, their attachment to family life. Superficially, the husbands, fathers in law, and so on were the ladies' gurus or teachers. Yet the women had become perfect in Krishna consciousness, whereas the men had fallen into the darkness of ignorance. Right? Because, in those days, Vedic times, it was the woman follows the husband. The husband is supposed to be a devotee of the Lord. He was trained as such, and then the woman was trained to be chaste to the husband, and so in that way the husband becomes the guru of the wife. Nowadays, of course, things are very different, but anyway, so what had happened is that the husbands, these Brahmanas, were just doing rituals in the namesake only, for the sake of doing the rituals. But in fact, the wives became devotees of Krishna. How did they become devotees? The wives.
Devotional service
How?
and
They gave food to Krishna. They served the food.
But why were they so attached to Krishna that they came and gave him the food?
Because they knew that Krishna is the absolute truth and he's the
How did they
God.
know?
through hearing
Yes,
from
that's
yeah,
right. They were
hearing from
hearing about Krishna from the Brajbasi ladies, from the, people who were passing by, the flower ladies or selling betel nut. They were always hearing about Krishna. And by this hearing about Krishna, they got the eagerness for Krishna. They got attached to Krishna. So that is what is needed, hearing about Krishna. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, upon returning home, the lady showed transcendental ecstatic symptoms such as trembling of the body, shedding of tears, standing of the bodily hairs on end, discoloration of the complexion, crying out, O pleasure of my life, O Krishna, with faltering words and so forth. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, the ladies were in ecstasy. They had met Krishna just now and they've come back home, but they're still in that ecstasy of meeting Krishna. So what are some of the ecstatic symptoms that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying they had?
Trembling of the body,
Mm-hmm.
shedding of the tears,
Yeah.
standing, the body hair standing on
On end.
the
You know,
end.
sometimes how the hairs stand up, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Discoloration of the complexion. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Yeah.
were just crying out to Krishna, oh, the pleasure of my life. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they're calling out to Krishna, oh, pleasure of my life. Oh, Krishna. They're not even able to speak properly because of the ecstasy that they are feeling. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur goes on to state that while one may object that it is not fitting for a woman to love anyone other than her husband, here the husband themselves point out that they are gurus only in imitation of the Supreme Lord, who is Jagat Guru, the universal teacher and spiritual master. The husbands noted that the women, having perfected their transcendental attachment for Krishna, did not have even a trace of attachment left for home, husband, children, and so forth. Therefore, from that day on, the husbands accepted those ladies as their worshipable spiritual masters and no longer thought of them as their wives or property. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is further explaining because the general tendency may be that, oh, this woman, she's married. How can she be attached to another person? But we have to understand that who they attach to is not an ordinary person. He's not an ordinary human being. He's the Supreme Lord Himself. It's Krishna. Everyone is supposed to be attached to Krishna. Each of us are actually attached to Krishna. It's just that this real attachment now has become perverted to being attached to material things. But anyway, here the husbands themselves are accepting that our wives, they are doing the right thing. And that's why they are now accepting their wives as their gurus, that they are better than us. Let us learn from them. We are just doing rituals here, just studying for the sake of studying. But the real devotion our wives they are the real devotees. So then from that day on, they accepted them as their spiritual master and not as their property or wife, because that may be the general tendency, right? You may think of a family member as my property, my 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 husband, my wife, my daughter, my son, without understanding that everyone is actually part and parcel of Krishna. Everyone is a lover of Krishna. Any comments, question?
Yeah, that's really something, huh? For the Brahmanas
Mhm.
to accept their wives as their spiritual master.
Right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
happen, right?
It doesn't happen. And yeah, normally, like even Brahmanas, they do have, right, that that false ego that,
Yeah.
yeah, and to accept their wives. Wow, really.
But this also shows that, at least they were also on the right track somehow, that they were able to distinguish and they accepted it. They were not like in their ego, that no, even after seeing that this is the right thing to do, they did it, right?
Mm. We are gonna hear that.
Yeah, because
We are gonna
otherwise,
hear.
because
Yes.
otherwise, like saying their wives at such a high level, it's not that easy for anybody.
No,
So
it's
it's
not easy.
happening because Krishna told them. Because later
Mm.
we are gonna hear that they don't go and meet Krishna. You know,
Hmm.
they're too afraid of Kans, and then they're just continuing to do their
Hmm.
rituals.
Hmm.
So it's because Krishna told the wives, don't worry, you go back home.
Hmm.
Because the wives were like, we left our husbands and our
Hmm.
family members and we have come. They're not going to accept us. They're going to be very bad to us now.
Hmm.
Krishna said, don't worry, you go home.
So,
They'll all be very
Shraddhaji,
good.
is it
Huh?
also just because of that only that Srila Prabhupada wrote the Krishna book? Because this is all the 10th canto that we have been reading in the Krishna book, right?
Hmm.
So that's why he wrote this, because he knew that he won't be able to come up to that point,
That's right.
right? That's why he wrote the Krishna book, right? And that's
Yeah,
why you always say that the purports are by his disciples from the 10th
that's
canto, right?
yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
That's-
Yeah, because Srila Prabhupada was thinking that if he leaves the world without giving us this most intimate pastimes of Krishna, then how will we know Krishna? How
Hmm.
will we understand Krishna? Because, okay, we may know the pastimes, but understanding the pastimes,
Hmm.
understanding Krishna's position, understanding the Brajvasi's positions. So that's why Srila Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Nasam dvijati samskaro,
Na sam dvijati samskaro,
na nivaso guravapi,
na nivaso gurav api,
na tapo na atma mimamsa,
na tapo na atma mimamsa,
na shaucham na kriya shubhaha,
na saucham na kriya shubha,
tathapi hi uttama shloke,
tatapi hi uttama shloke,
Krishne yogeshwareshware,
Krishne yogeshware,
bhaktir dridana cha asmakam,
bhakti dritana cha asmakam,
samskaradi matam api.
samskara dimatam api.
These women have never undergone the purificatory rites of the twice born classes, nor have they lived as brahmacharis in the ashram of a spiritual master, nor have they executed austerities, speculated on the nature of the self, followed the formalities of cleanliness, or engaged in pious rituals. Nevertheless, they have firm devotion for Lord Krishna, whose glories are chanted by the exalted hymns of the Vedas, and who is the supreme master of all masters of mystic power. We, on the other hand, have no such devotion for the Lord, although we have executed all these processes. According to Sridhar Swami, the husbands were not aware that their wives had occasionally associated with residents of Vrindavan, such as the flower ladies, and had heard about the beauty and qualities of Krishna. The Brahmanas were astonished at their wives' loving devotion for Lord Krishna, not realizing that this devotion had developed as a result of hearing and chanting about the Lord in the association of his pure devotees. So the Brahmanas are saying, we are the ones who always did all the rituals, all the purificatory rites. We have studied the Vedas, we have done the austerities, all these. We took the second initiation, chanting the Gayatri. We have lived in brahmacharis as in the ashram of our gurus. Our wives never did any of these things. How come they have gotten the devotion for Krishna now? So Sridhar Swami is saying they didn't know that the wives were hearing and chanting about Krishna. So we can see also here that one may be doing formally all these things, but without hearing and chanting about Krishna, we cannot get devotion. all these formalities one may be doing, but the main thing also, we have to hear and chant about Krishna in the association of devotees. Any comment?
How so strong it is, na? I mean, important just hearing about Krishna and you get the
Yeah,
love for Krishna.
yeah, you can see. Because see, the Brahmanas themselves are thinking, oh, we are doing all these rituals, all the Pat Puja,
Mm.
or the cleanliness, the rules, the regulations. We are chanting the Gayatri. We're studying the Vedas. We have taken the strict discipline of living with the Guru, following his orders. But we can see all this without hearing and chanting. It's not going to give us devotion.
Hare Krishna Shilpaji. So also Rukmani Devi had come to that position by hearing only, right?
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. By hearing about Krishna. So it gives us great encouragement that we keep on continuing hearing about Krishna, chanting his names, pastimes, and one day we will also be able to revive our attachment for him. We will also get attached to him because it shows, right?
Even the same for Prahlad, right? He was in the womb of his mother and hearing, right? Through
That's
from Narad Muni,
mm,
and he
that's
got,
right.
just imagine in the womb, mother,
Yeah.
Katayu, what the mother's name?
Kayadu.
Katayu,
Kayadu.
Kayadu.
Mm. Yeah. He was hearing about Krishna in the womb of his mother, became a great devotee. So we can see that how important it is to hear about Krishna. You know, we may neglect saying kya hai, all it's the same thing. I was hearing one class. So one question was raised that devotees sometimes feel, oh, same hearing, same stories in Bhagavatam. You know,
Yeah.
devotees want to hear something new. Mm. So then the answer was that by hearing Bhagavatam, we are associating with Krishna. Bhagavatam is Krishna, right? All about Krishna, his pastimes, about devotional service. Bhagavatam is Krishna.
Yeah,
So
the
some,
katha, right?
the
That's why
katha,
hearing the katha is so, so important. Yes.
yeah,
And Bhagavatam is something that not that you read once and that's it. Like how other novels and anything, you read once, yeah, finish, you're done. But this is like eternal. It just goes on. You you can go on and on reading it how many ever times. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, right?
right? That's true, right? Each time we find something new.
Yeah. It's something that doesn't just stop, like okay, you're done once and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
each time it's newer and newer.
Mhm.
So hearing about Krishna. The wives have become pure devotees now. They have so much attachment for Krishna. They have ecstasy. They have bhav. Look, they have ecstatic symptoms. So started all by hearing about Krishna. Then they got this great eagerness. By hearing about Krishna, they got this eagerness to be with Krishna.
Right. Yeah.
That is what is needed, this eagerness.
Yeah.
We also, eagerness is needed. If we can also cultivate this eagerness somehow or the other. We are so eager to do so many things, right?
Yeah,
We are so eager, no? So many things we are eager about.
true. That pyas, like what they say, right? Pyas,
Yeah,
eager.
yeah,
Yes.
eager. So somehow or the other, let us also
Mm.
cultivate this eagerness for Krishna. I want to read one more or stop here.
I think we can read, no? One more short.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it's a very small one.
okay. Nanu swartha vimudhanam
Nanu swartha vimudnanam
pramatanam grihe haya
pramattanam grihe haya
aho na smarayam asa
aho na smarayan asa
gopavakye satam gati.
gopa vakhe satam gatihi.
Indeed, infatuated as we are with our household affairs, we have deviated completely from the real aim of our life. But now just see how the Lord, through the words of these simple cowherd boys, has reminded us of the ultimate destination of all true transcendentalists. They said that we have forgotten what is real aim of life is to worship Krishna. We've just gotten busy in all these rituals and with our affairs of the house. They wanted to go to Swarglok, right? That's why they were doing this sacrifice. So they say we have gotten so entangled in this, we have forgotten what is the goal of doing all this, what we are doing. And the Brahmana boys reminded us that Krishna Balarama are here. They're asking for some food. Ultimate destination of all true transcendentalists. It's Krishna and Balaram. Pure devotional service. We'll stop here and continue tomorrow.
Yes. So
Thank you
the
all.
ultimate
And
destination is over here. It
Krishna.
means is Krishna, right? Go
Yeah,
back to Godhead. Yeah.
yeah, Krishna. Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedya. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Means the purpose of doing all the sacrifices which are in the Vedas, studying the Vedas, following the Vedas, all that, why is it done? To have love for Krishna. So they're saying we completely forgot that and we are just doing things for the sake of doing them, becoming ritualistic. So,
Yeah.
okay. All the rituals actually are all always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's what all the principles are for that. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Okay, thank you all so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.